Hey guys, final countdown 1776. Hey, I'm out here talking to people. Here I'm doing some construction in the background back here. It's good. Not sure what they're building, what looks like maybe apartments or something, but I'm out here in West Virginia today. I was in Tennessee a couple days ago talking to some people. I was in Virginia yesterday talking to some people. Today I'm in West Virginia over here at Planet Fitness right over there. Got done doing a little bit of a workout. And this morning I'm getting up and I'm driving to Indiana. I'm gonna stop in Ohio for a little bit, talk to a few people. Then I'm gonna go to Indiana after that. I'm having discussions out here, right? And I'm just starting this channel. And you guys probably realize I've only got a few videos, but one thing I'm learning, excuse me one second. There's the engine noise here from my truck. So I'm gonna go back here, we can hear me a little bit better, but one thing I'm learning is that there's a yearning for people out there that love this country. And that was the only requirement I asked about, if somebody wanted to get on board and join my channels, follow whatever platform applies to it. But I don't know how long it'll be up on YouTube. It's just I don't have too much faith. I think YouTube will cancel, just like everything else. Here's the thing in this country is everybody's okay with anybody saying anything as long as you agree with them. All right, you say anything that might be a difference of opinion from what they believe in, if they have any power at all, they'll use it against you. Everything's political. It's ridiculous. It's a terrible mindset, that we've developed. We've just made everything into politics. It's just all about politics. Let's see if I can set this up here. Anyways, so it's about politics. But what I have learned is there's a lot of people looking for some kind of guidance, some kind of help. I mean, there are so many people. It's exactly what I talked about earlier in one of my videos, that there's a lot of good people out there, way more good people than not. It's convenient, it's easier, and the consequences seem to be possibly less in the short term, by not speaking up, right? When you see something, right, again, due to this council culture and all, the minority, they're being very loud right now with their voice and with their actions, and it's just been easier to let it go, right? When you see, what this cancel culture and woke culture and all this acting out your feelings and all this stuff, what it's doing to our country, it's easier just to not say anything, because nobody wants to be that guy that everybody starts pointing to and ganging up on, saying you're the problem, right? When it's not the case. It's the case that the problem is people aren't saying anything, and then as we keep silent, don't say anything, don't call out evil when we see it, just say it's okay as long as they don't bother me, then evil keeps gaining momentum, right? Everybody that's tearing down this country, right? It's making it worse, not contributing to society, making it a better place, but making it worse. They're gaining momentum, and the more momentum they gain, the harder it is to speak up against it. So we gotta teach our kids from a young age right from wrong. We gotta teach them, 2 + 2 is 4, right? There was a phase we were going through there for one point in time where I don't know if they implemented in schools, but they were looking into it, and they maybe even did a trial run in schools or something. I don't know, but there was at one point in time a couple of years ago, it may still be out there, but they were saying that 2 + 2, if the kid said it was 5, you didn't tell him he was wrong. You told him, if that's really what you feel, if that's how you feel like, answering that question, and if you want it to be 5, then, we'll work on it, but and then just move on, but not tell them that they're wrong, right? They don't want to hurt their feelings, right? Math, simple math. we've always debated over opinions, right? We've always debated over opinions that are supposedly fact-based, right? When they're different from somebody else's view, right? And then it came down to, well, where did you get your facts from, and how did you interpret those same facts if you did get them from the same source or a legitimate source? But we've never disputed things like 2 + 2 = 4 until, the last few years. And now we're not telling our kids that they're wrong if 2 + 2 is, if they say 5 or 6 or 3, because we didn't want to hurt their feelings. So I've spent time in in Iraq, right? I've had multiple friends that spent time in Afghanistan. I've been to other countries. I've seen how some of those kids are raised. Now, they don't have the technology we have, of course, right? They have hardly no opportunity, right? This country's full of opportunity, but we want to all play the victim role and act like we, just always point the finger if we don't have success. Instead of going out and obtaining success, we always want to play the victim, say we can't because of so-and-so, and it's somebody else's fault, and they're holding me back, all this stuff. But I've seen kids grow up in third world countries, right? I've seen how they live on a daily basis. I've seen how they make do. I've seen their ingenuity when they don't have much. Those kids are hard as nails. I mean, you take an average Afghan kid, right? And I'm not promoting them by no means. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you what I've seen. You take an average, sorry, the phone's falling. You take an average Afghan kid that grew up in a cave, right? Minimal food, minimal water, no technology, had to work for everything, right? Feed themselves on a daily basis, help their parents, do whatever it took to make sure they had food for that day, right? And those kids are hard as nails, right? You put them over here, and you pit them up against, mentally, mindset against our 10-year-old kids, against their 10-year-old kids. They would run us in the ground, right? Here's my point. So, hard times, listen to me now. Listen to me. Hard times breed hard men, right? Weak times breed weak men. We are living in a country now that is breeding weaker and weaker men with every generation, because we're getting softer and softer, and we're not passing down the work ethic, the morals, the values. We're not doing that. We got too much, right? I hate to say that, but we're spoiled too much. We passed the point of, we wanted to work to build, be a better country, and we've done that, and then now we're throwing it all away, in my opinion, because we're taking it for granted, right? We're taking it for granted. Those people in those third world countries, some of those guys are happier on a daily basis. Does that sound crazy? They live in dictatorships. They don't have any money. They don't have a phone. They barely have running water. Most of them don't. A lot of them don't have running water. Or if they have like electricity, it might be cut on for an hour a day, 2 hours a day. Some of them don't have electricity. Iraq, Afghanistan, some of those other foreign countries, some other third world countries. But mentally, I believe there's a lot less stress. If that don't sound crazy, I don't know, because how could you not be stressed if you don't have anything? Well, they haven't been spoiled to the point to where they've had it and then lost it. So therefore, they don't really yearn that much for it. They grew up doing without, they still have without, and they've got comfortable by living in what we would consider a terrible situation, right? Hard times breed hard men. This country's getting softer, but it's because we're letting it get softer. right? By our actions, by our inactions of teaching our young men to be men, right? Not giving them the attention that a father should, so therefore they go seek it somewhere else, right? So a lot of these men, young boys out here, young men, are not acting like it because a lot of them don't have a role model. They don't have a mentor, right? They don't have someone to grab them by the hand at a young age and instill in them, you know, the values and the virtues of how to be a man. So we got to do a better job. That's our fault, right? That's our fault. Join this channel. Join this channel. I want to make a difference. I'm going around, I'm talking to people now. I'm going state by state. But join 1776. I'm sorry, the final countdown, 1776. I'm on YouTube for now. I'll probably get taken off. I'm trying to get the Rumble thing figured out. TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, of course. Join all those. Help me out, right? Help me help us out, right? Again, I said in my other video, not for me, right? I could just jump in this truck, go on down the road, make money, stack it up, go on about my business. But I'm seeing people reach out to me already that on both sides, believe it or not. Now, there's a few people on there that's reached out to me so far that's saying, hey, we just need to clean the country up. Let you know, and focus on what needs to be focused on, not drag politics into it. But of course, the first thing a lot of people is going to do, automatically, is just go straight to the politics side of it. We just got to do a better job at going back to the old school, teaching morals and values to our kids, right? Teaching right from wrong. We got away from that, right? And it's flipped on us. And now the kids, every once in a while, they hear someone speak up and say what they think is right and wrong, usually an older person, but then they look around and they see people doing the opposite and then not thinking there's anything wrong with it, and they're confused, right? There's a lot of confusion going on between 30-year-olds and below, somewhere in that range. I don't know. I don't know the exact number, but there's a lot of confusion going on out there because some people, the elders, are telling them one thing, but social media, TikTok, how to become TikTok famous, how to become YouTube famous, and influencer, those people are telling them different. And those people are taking advantage of the young men and women in this country because it gets likes, it gets attention. Some people actually make it big and make money doing it. And they'll almost go to no, any means possible, for that, social media fame or whatever you want to call it. But we can't always blame it on all the outside sources if we're not doing our part, right? If you're doing 110% on, raising your kids correctly, raising your grandkids correctly. If you don't have kids, join some kind of mentorship, teaching them conservative values, right? This country was founded on conservative values, right? And it depends on what your definition of conservatives. Again, immediately people think, oh, see, he said conservative, so he's extreme right wing. I don't care if you're Republican or if you're a Democrat. Teaching right from wrong is right from wrong. That should not change, right? You can have differences of opinions on more advanced stuff when they get older, right? But when they're younger, discipline, right? The old spare the rod, spoil the child. We got to get back to discipline, right? If it means snatching your kid up, when he's young and swatting him on the hind end with your hand, immediately, right? There's got to be immediately consequences whenever he's young. They'll learn, and it'll be a lot easier on them later on in life if they learn discipline, respect, ethics, values. If they learn that earlier on in life, later on it'll be easier on them. It's not love to let them get away with stuff and to not teach them right from wrong because it's easier in the short run, because in the long run they're going to pay for it, and you can see what's happening now. Like I said, all right, so I'm leaving here today. I'm gonna go through Ohio. I'm gonna go to Indiana. I'll be there this evening. I'm gonna talk to some people. I'm gonna start doing a few, I don't know if you call them interviews, but I'm gonna talk to some people on the street. I'm gonna have a list of questions and go down through there and just stop random people, and kind of just ask them what their opinions are on some things going on in this country right now, and try to give you guys a real world assessment on what random people think about the exact same thing, right? I'll ask a couple different people the exact same questions, and you kind of get an idea of the way the mindset is. And sometimes it's state by state, sometimes it's city by city, and you'll see a big difference in different parts of this country. But anyways, so now I'm rambling a little bit. I'm gonna get off here on this one. Subscribe to the Final Countdown 1776. Look for me on various different platforms, and that's it, guys. I need your help. I need you to join this cause. I need you to help us out. We got to get this country turned back in the right direction, and I believe we can do it. I really do. I believe we can do it. Just gotta take a stand somewhere, right? This is where we take a stand. This is it, right? I didn't choose that name, the Final Countdown, for no reason, right? I didn't pick it out of thin air, right? We're living it. We're living it. If we don't do something about it, now, it's gonna slip completely out of our hands. And when it does, there's no bringing it back. We're at a crucial inflection point in this country. And it's a sad, sad day when we lose complete control and chaos reigns. We don't want that. I've seen it. I'm telling you, I've seen it in other countries. I've watched it happen. It's happening now. It's happening here in this country. But drastic times calls for drastic measures. We got to rally together. We got to do this, right? Like I said, if you've never joined a channel in your life, please join this one. I'm gonna get better at making videos. I'm gonna try to give you guys better content. But as you can see here, I'm behind my truck. I drive a truck here, and I don't have a professional setting yet, but I have a heart that loves this country, and I fought for it for over 20 years. I don't want to see it go to waste. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see all the lives that were lost and my friends go, in vain for no reason. Right? It's not fair. It's not fair to them. And it's not fair to our kids. Join this channel, leave a comment, let's get this thing going, let's blow it up. I'm gonna do some of the things, I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna hit some of the hot spots around here, but right now I kind of got to do both. I got to work and do this. I really want to work on this full time, but I'm not there yet. But with your support and your help, right, and your guys' backing, I'll get there. I'll get there. One way or the other, I'll get there. If I'm the last man standing, you better believe it. I'll go down. I'd rather, what's the old saying? I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. That somebody said that one time. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Right? We don't want to do that. We don't want to go there as a country, but we're heading there. All right, guys, that's it. The Final Countdown 7076. We're coming.